Now, this is more of Lil Rod's allegations that's coming out. In his lawsuit filing, he claimed that Daphne Joy and Young Miami were being paid a monthly allowance to be Diddy's
50 Cent's ex, Daphne Joy, is facing accusations of being Sean Diddy Combs' alleged in a new lawsuit. Page Six got a hold of court documents claiming the OnlyFans model was a involved in the rapper's alleged ring. She was reportedly one of 3 women he bragged about paying a monthly stipend for their.
Guys, this Diddy case just keeps getting more twisted by the minute. It's like peeling an onion, except every layer you uncover just gets darker and darker. Seriously, it's a wild ride from start to finish. Remember that lawsuit Lil Rod filed against Diddy? Yeah, the one that had everyone's jaws dropping with its gruesome details and A-list conspirators? Well, hold on to your hats, because it's taken a wild turn. Just when you thought things couldn't get any crazier, the lawsuit drops a bombshell by mentioning none other than Daphne Joy as Diddy's alleged SE worker. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because she's not just anybody. She's 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend and the mother of his child. You can only imagine how 50 Cent reacted to this bombshell. I mean, we all know he's been riding Diddy's case like there's no tomorrow, and he's even working on a documentary about him. But now, with his baby mama being dragged into the mix as Diddy's supposed employee, things just went from 0 to 100 real quick. And let's be real, even if they're not together anymore, she's still the mother of his kid, so it's definitely hitting close to home for 50. Things are really getting messy, guys, but let's dive into the details.
Is this why 50 don't like Diddy so much?
I believe this is a big reason why.
I'm sure it's part of it.
That's because that's what 50 used to talk about all the time.
So according to documents that got leaked to Fox News Digital, Lil Rod isn't holding back when it comes to his accusations against Diddy. Among the laundry list of terrible stuff he's throwing Diddy's way, he's claiming that the Bad Boy Records bigwig was straight up bragging about having a whole squad of women on a monthly payroll. And apparently one of those women named in the suit is none other than Daphne Joy. Now Lil Rod's alleging that these women, including Joy, were getting paid a monthly fee to basically be Diddy's SEX workers. People are saying that this might not be far-fetched, because Diddy's been spotted following Joy on Instagram, and there are even pics of them chilling together in Miami Beach just last year. But Joy isn't having none of it. She's firing back hard, taking to Instagram to set the record straight. In a statement that she dropped, she straight up calls out Lil Rod's lawsuit as a bunch of lies and character assassination. And she's not just sitting back and taking it, she's lawyering up and ready to take legal action against both Lil Rod and his attorney. I am deeply hurt by the lies in Rodney Jones' lawsuit, the claim that I am a 100% false and character assassination, she said. I am retaining an attorney to explore all legal remedies against both Rodney and his attorney. And you know, 50 Cent wasn't just gonna sit back and let things slide. Nope, he took to Twitter and dropped a bomb, posting a pic of Joy and Diddy with a caption that basically called her out. He says, "You moved a mile away in hopes of having another baby with me, but I was busy. So you moved back and then you started receiving money from Brother Love. Now here we are, little SEX worker." But Joy wasn't about to let that slide. She came back swinging on Instagram saying, "Curtis James Jackson, everything is a joke to you until our safety is compromised," which is happening now. You're wreaking real havoc, frenzy, and chaos into other people's lives. How would you feel if Sire was the one in handcuffs? For nothing. We moved to New York to give you the opportunity to be a father to your son, and you saw him 10 times out of the 2 years that we lived 1 mile away from you. I am tired of upholding and protecting an image to our son that you have never heard. She would continue saying, "Let's put the real focus on your true evil actions of R-wording and physically A-ing me. You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point on. You have permanently damaged the last hope I had for you as a father to preserve our family with these last and final false claims made against me. You have broken our hearts for the last and final time." But despite her heartfelt words, it's like nobody's really listening. Instead, people are dragging Daphne left and right, not buying her side of the story at all. One user said, "So she was fighting for her child to be with his father, but then claims he R-worded her? What human would fight to have their child around a R? Let's be real." Another user says, "He R-worded you, but you moved you and your son to live 1 mile away from him? Yeah, whatever." And 50 Cent? Well, he's not backing down either. His rep came out with a statement, slamming Daphne's allegations as false and baseless. According to them, it's all just a reaction to 50 50 seeking sole custody of their son, Sire. They're making it crystal clear that Sire's safety is their top priority, and they're not messing around when it comes to protecting him. The disturbing allegations in the sworn pleadings recently filed in a court case related to Daphne Joy, the mother of my 12-year-old child, has required me to take all necessary legal actions to protect my son, Sire. The most recent false and baseless accusations by Daphne Joy are clearly in response to my decision to seek sole custody of my son. My son, Sire, is my main priority, and keeping him in a safe environment is my only focus at this time. Now, you know this whole mess is only going to fuel 50 Cent's fire even more. I mean, he's probably going to be even more fired up than before. But before we dive into Lil Rod's lawsuit, let's start with the latest drama surrounding Diddy's raided homes. So, Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami were searched on Monday because he is a target of a federal investigation carried out by a Department of Homeland Security team that handles human TFK crimes, according to a senior federal law enforcement official briefed on the investigation. The probe is being led by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York and carried out by the Department of Homeland Security Investigations Transnational Organized Crime Division, the official told CNN. The investigation stems from many of the same allegations put forth by several civil lawsuits filed in New York against Combs, with allegations of SA, including one filed in December in federal court that also included allegations of TFK, according to a second law enforcement source familiar with Monday's searches. Combs has previously denied those allegations. Heavily armed teams of HSI agents searched Combs' homes, some riding in armored vehicles, in part because authorities believe Combs employs armed private security at each of his residences. Agents were authorized to search for documents, phones, computers, and other electronic devices that hold data or videos. HSI in New York said it executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation in cooperation with local law enforcement and HSI units in Los Angeles and Miami, and would provide further information as it becomes available. Now, people were saying that Diddy fled his mansion, and when the authorities showed up, they didn't find him, but they did detain his two sons, Christian and Justin, which some people find really sad that Diddy just left his children hanging like that.
Christine, one of the many burning questions today is, where is he? Where was Sean Diddy Combs while these raids were being carried out at his residences?
I mean, his children could have been in serious danger because if you know anything about Homeland Security, they do not play. I mean, they show up there with their guns and tanks. It's very intimidating, and they will attack if they feel there's a hint of a threat. So folks were understandably shocked that Diddy would leave his kids potentially in harm's way like that. There were even whispers that he jetted off to some private island, with authorities hot on his tail. But it turns out he wasn't on that jet at all. In fact, he was spotted pacing outside Miami airport.
I guess you wonder what's going to happen next, Diddy. I know.
So, some people think he was trying to throw them off his scent, cooking up some sneaky plan to skip town without a trace. Then, the following day, Diddy's attorney issued a statement denouncing the raid. Yesterday, there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. Mr. Combs was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way, Aaron Dyer said. This unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced, coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name. Now, let's circle back to Lil Rod's lawsuit. Among the laundry list of accusations is Diddy allegedly strong-arming Jones into arranging encounters with SEX workers and pressuring him into participating in some seriously unwanted bedroom activities, not just with these workers, but with others too. And if that's not enough to make your jaw hit the floor, Diddy supposedly served up spiked drinks to unsuspecting guests at his swanky parties. According to the lawsuit, there are even screenshots supposedly showing gatherings at Diddy's digs that included underage girls and more SEX workers. And some of these ladies allegedly had their drinks tampered with at Diddy's direction. This legal bombshell also called out some other names like about about Diddy's right-hand woman, Christina Coram, Universal Music Group CEO Sir Lucian Grange, and former Motown Records CEO Ethiopia Habtemariam. They're all caught up in this legal whirlwind. Jones says in the lawsuit that Grange, Habtemariam, Motown Records, Love Records, and Universal Music Group effectively worked together with Combs in a RICO enterprise that failed to adequately monitor, warn, or supervise the actions of Combs, his son, and his chief of staff. A RICO enterprise is any individuals or groups that act together to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. And Jones isn't just looking for a slap on the wrist here, he's aiming high, seeking a cool $30 million in damages. But an attorney for Combs is slamming Jones' claims as pure fiction, straight up calling them out as a cheap ploy to grab headlines. We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones' attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls, the attorney, Sean Hawley, said in a statement. We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them. Now, according to Jones' lawsuit, he claims that back in August 2022, Diddy himself reached out to him to produce some tunes for the R&B album, The Love Album, Off the Grid, which ended up snagging a Grammy nomination after its release in September 2023. But here's the kicker. Jones says his life took a nosedive after he agreed to work with Diddy. Jones alleges that Combs' SEX harassed and aided him while he lived with him at Combs' homes in Florida, Los Angeles, and New York, as well as on a yacht Combs rented in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The harassment in A included constant unsolicited and unauthorized groping and touching of his A, according to the lawsuit. Jones says he was forced to work in Combs' bathroom as Combs showered in a glass enclosure. When he tried to raise the alarm about Diddy's behavior to Christina Coram, Diddy's right-hand woman, Jones claimed she brushed it off as just friendly horseplay, stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. The lawsuit accuses Coram of aiding and abetting Combs' SA of Jones and of working with Combs to G-word him into accepting a homo relationship. Jones also alleges that he was forced to solicit S and perform S them to please Combs. To aid in the alleged recruitment, Jones said, Combs provided him with an exclusive bad boy baseball cap and required him to wear it to a Miami establishment as a signal to any SEX worker he approached that Combs was in town and had sent Jones to recruit them. Jones alleges Combs, whom he describes in the suit as forceful and demanding, and someone who does not take no for an answer, leveraged his power as one of the most influential people in hip-hop and business to intimidate him, including by threatening to inflict bodily harm if Jones did not comply with his demands. On one occasion, Jones alleges, Combs forced him to watch as he displayed guns and bragged about getting away with shooting people. In a separate incident, Jones alleges, Combs shared that he was responsible for a shooting in a nightclub in New York City in 1999 with the rapper Shine, born Jamal Barrow. A jury acquitted Combs of gun possession and bribery charges in connection with that incident, while Barrow was sentenced to 10 years in jail. Jones was terrified of Combs and felt he could not tell him no, according to the suit. Mr. Combs consistently made it clear that he has immense power in the music industry and with law enforcement, the lawsuit says. Jones says in the lawsuit that he has video and audio evidence to support some of the allegations. The lawsuit says that Combs required Jones to record him constantly, and that on several occasions, Combs took Jones's cell phone to record himself. As a result, Jones alleges he has hundreds of hours of video and audio records of Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. Jones says in the suit that he believes Combs also him on February 2, 2023. He alleges he woke up dizzy and confused in bed with Combs and two SEX workers. In response to a request for comment, Jones's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, used a Latin phrase, res ipsa loquitur, which loosely translates as the thing speaks for itself, referring to the lawsuit. Jones says in the suit that he was under an implied work-for-hire agreement and was not compensated for the songs he produced on the Love album. As a result, the lawsuit says Combs, Love Records, Motown Records, and Universal Music Group were all unjustly enriched at his expense. Guys, seriously, this lawsuit is off the charts. As we all know that before now, Diddy has been sued by 4 women who have accused him of SA. Cassie, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, said Combs physically aided her and forced her to have SEX with male while he got off on it and recorded the encounters. The lawsuit was settled the day after it was filed. The settlement was in no way an admission of wrongdoing, Combs' lawyer Ben Braffman has said. Following Cassie's lawsuit, 2 other women, Liza Gardner and Joey Dickerson-Neal, have alleged in lawsuits that Combs S.A.'d them, and a woman identified as Jane Doe in court documents said Combs and 2 other men R-worded her when she was 17 and Combs was 34. Those 3 cases against Combs are still pending. In a statement in December, he denied the allegations, saying, "Enough is enough," and called the claims against him sickening. "Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth," he said in the statement. Guys, this is crazy. The accusations flying around could seriously dent Diddy's legacy and his whole business empire. I mean, after Ventura dropped her bombshell lawsuit, 3 of Diddy's former artists came out in support of her. And that's not all. Around the same time, Diddy stepped down from his chairman position at Revolt TV. Then, in December, Hulu pulled the plug on a reality show that was supposed to be all about Diddy's family. And if that's not enough drama for you, in January, Diddy settled his lawsuit with Diageo, where he was accusing them of racism. But hold on to your seats, folks, because we're about to dive into the other big names caught up in this legal tornado. First up, we have Cuba Gooding Jr. According to the legal docs that TMZ managed to get their hands on, Jones believes that Diddy was pulling some shady moves with the intention of passing him off to other folks. And get this, he claims that Diddy introduced him to Cuba on his swanky yacht. And let's just say things took a nosedive into uncomfortable territory real quick. Allegedly, Cuba started making unwanted moves on Jones, totally crossing the line until Jones had to push him away. Jones even tossed in a pic of Cuba hugging him as supposed evidence. Mr. Combs had dominion and control over the actions of Cuba Gooding Jr. and failed to step in and stop Cuba Gooding Jr. from essaying Mr. Jones, the suit alleges. Now, we all know Cuba's been down this road before. Back in 2019, a bunch of women came forward with some seriously sketchy claims about his behavior. But this is the first time he's dealing with accusations from another guy. In June 2019, things got seriously messy for Cuba Gooding Jr. The dude found himself in hot water after an incident at a Times Square bar where he was accused of getting a little too handsy with a woman. But hold on, the legal roller coaster was far from over. Another charge was thrown his way, but Cuba managed to dodge the jail cell by striking up a plea deal. Fast forward to now, thanks to the Adult Survivors Act, which is the same law that allowed Cassie to sue Diddy last November, 2 alleged victims of Cuba have come forward with a fresh lawsuit. In this lawsuit from 2018, which the Times got their hands on, a woman claimed that while she was working as a cocktail waitress at Lavo restaurant and nightclub in New York, Gooding forced his tongue into her mouth without her consent. Gooding ended up pleading guilty to a criminal forcible touching charge related to the incident. And get this, the lawsuit filed just recently includes a chunk of the transcript from Gooding's testimony during that whole legal mess. When the judge asked him to describe what went down, he straight up admitted, "I the waitress on her lips," and confirmed that he did it without her permission. In the 2019 filing, Kelsey Harbert spilled the tea, claiming she approached Gooding at the Magic Hour rooftop bar and lounge, hoping to meet the actor. But things took a dark turn when she ended up sitting next to Gooding's girlfriend. Harbert alleged that Gooding, being the total boundary crosser, reached over and decided to get handsy in all the wrong places. She described feeling shocked as she suddenly felt his hand groping her treating her like she was nothing more than a piece of meat. Harbert wasted no time and filed a police report within a week of the incident. And guess what? Gooding ended up pleading guilty once again.
The video appears to show Gooding putting his hand on her thigh. A few seconds later, his hand appearing to move up towards her. Gooding is then seen pulling her hands to his lips.
Now, fast forward to the civil lawsuit, where Gooding straight up confirmed that it was indeed non-consensual contact during his hearing. Both women involved are seeking some serious damages for A and battery, lost wages, and the emotional, mental, and toll this whole mess took on them. Oh, and let's not forget about those attorneys' fees. As for Gooding's camp, they've been pretty tight-lipped about the whole ordeal, with no immediate response to the media's inquiries. Gloria Allred, who's representing the 2 plaintiffs, isn't holding back. In a statement, she made it clear that her clients aren't backing down. They're seeking the justice they couldn't quite nab in the criminal case, and they're not stopping until they get it. Then we've got Young Miami. Jones is dropping bombshells left and right, claiming he's got solid evidence of some seriously shady stuff going down. He alleges that Young Miami's cousin or assistant, whoever it may be, made unwanted advances towards him. According to Jones, things went down on Thanksgiving Day back in 2022 while he was chilling with Diddy, Young Miami, and her crew. Apparently, this cousin of Young Miami barged into the bathroom while Jones was doing his business, and things quickly escalated into some inappropriate touching. Jones tried to push her away, but it didn't end there. Allegedly, she then tried to get frisky right in front of Diddy and the gang. And that's not all. Jones claims Young Miami was among those getting paid by Diddy for some, extra services. Fast forward to September 2022, and there's more drama unfolding at Chalice Recording Studio in LA. Jones alleges a friend of Diddy's son Justin got shot, and he was right there just 2 feet away from the chaos. When Diddy and Justin emerged from the restroom, Jones says he saw the guy suffering from gunshot wounds. But here's the kicker. Jones claims Diddy forced him to lie to the cops about the whole thing, spinning a tale about it being a drive-by. Now, Justin Combs and his legal team are firing back at these wild accusations with full force. According to a statement from his reps, Justin is flat out denying all of these absurd allegations, calling them nothing but a desperate attempt for a quick cash grab. They are all lies. This is a clear example of a desperate person taking desperate measures in hopes of a payday, the statement said. There will be legal consequences for all defamatory statements made about the Combs family, but the drama doesn't stop there. Stevie J, the Grammy-winning producer from Bad Boy Records, also finds himself smack dab in the middle of these allegations from Jones. According to Jones, Diddy used Stevie J's admiration as part of some G-word process, aiming to ease Jones' anxieties about his sex preference. Allegedly, Diddy even showed Jones footage that he claimed was Stevie J getting cozy with another man. But hold on a sec, turns out those screenshots weren't exactly what they seemed. Adult film star Knockout stepped up on Twitter, straight up saying, "It's me," throwing a wrench in the whole thing. And Stevie J isn't staying silent either. He's got his lawyer in the game, ready to handle this mess. But wait, there's more. Academics, the hip-hop commentator, dug up some juicy details from the lawsuit. It alleges that Diddy had some intimate relations with a rapper who dated Nicki Minaj and an R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Now, the footnotes in the lawsuit got tongues wagging, suggesting these mystery celebs could be none other than Meek Mill and Usher. While it's all still up in the air, folks are definitely connecting the dots here.
Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in intercourse with rapper 5, that's redacted. Look, 5, he's a rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. And then the next person, R&B singer 6, redacted. Look, he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Usher!
Well, guys, I know this is a lot to take in, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below, and we'll catch you in the next video.